Venice is known worldwide for its magnificent canals, one-of-a-kind architecture, and spectacular festivals. Every year, millions of people visit this magnificent place to enjoy its beauty. Venice is known as one of the most romantic towns in the world, and it attracts lovers from all over the world. The 122 islands that form the city are connected by canals and bridges that are all unique in design. There is one island, though, where tourists are not welcome. The locals, on the other hand, carefully pass it by. Few people are aware that one of the city's islands is cursed, and that the road leading to there is forbidden to ordinary tourists. There have been some daredevils who have traveled to the mysterious island, but none of them have spoken of being there after their visit. Rather, they all agree that there is no location in the world more terrifying. Belongs to Poveglia Island, which is pretty much unknown to tourists. According to historical sources, the island of Poveglia was founded in 421. A little island then became a refuge for people escaping the barbarian armies. The island has successfully settled and grown over the years. There was a church and a bell tower built there. However, after a Genoa attack in 1379, the people were forced to move to nearby islands. Since then, no one has lived on the island permanently. It was not, however, deserted because it was a strategically important structure for protecting the lake's entrance. There was an 8 defense construction built there in 1645. All of these structures' remains can still be seen on the island. At the beginning of the Roman Empire, the island began to gain popularity. The plague was raging at the time, and the Romans had no choice but to send all the patients to a deserted island without treatment. People were destined to a painful death. There were attempts to repopulate the island after that, but no one wanted to move there. When the Black Plague hit Europe a few centuries later, killing more than half of the population, the Romans remembered Poveglia and began sending fetid bodies to the island, which had no place to bury them. In addition, anyone who showed even the slightest signs of disease, as well as family members of patients, were susceptible to deportation. If people were simply left to die without treatment during the Roman era, thousands of bodies were dumped into holes and burned during the Middle Ages. Even living people could easily get caught in this raging inferno. From the Middle Ages to the beginning of the 20th century, the island of Poveglia was practically uninhabited. Even local fishermen tried to bypass this lost place. The authorities tried to arrange on the island of Poveglia either a checkpoint for ships entering the port or a dispensary for sailors when infectious diseases broke out on incoming ships. But all these measures were temporary, and the island's fame grew. In 1922, when Mussolini took over the government in Italy, he began the construction of a private mental facility. Persons who didn't support the dictator's regime were also sent there, along with people with mental issues. The patients earlier discovered hearing cries and screams, as well as seeing ghosts, but who could believe such nonsense? However, the clinic's workers quickly began to observe strange things on the island. One of the stories in which it was said that a doctor committed suicide, and threw himself from the top of the hospital because of his feeling of guilt when he was torturing patients and performing illegal operations for them. According to legend, he was haunted by the island's evil spirits. Since that time, no one has dared to approach the island of Poveglia. Even the fishermen, when they were fishing near it, their nets were filled with the bones of the dead. Romans believed that the souls of those who died on the island but were not buried according to religious precepts wander around the island. Even though the bell has been removed from the church tower, they also believe that the former doctor of a mental hospital rings the bell. Even today, the island is still there, and the hospital building is also there. Everything remains there, as it was. With the iron beds, bathrooms, and other furniture that have not been removed from the island, visitors can see piles of burned bones left over from the times of the centuries-old fire central. That's why the island of Poveglia in Italy is called the Gate of Hell, or the Cursed Land. I hope you enjoyed the story. Press like and subscribe to receive the latest mysterious stories about the most thrilling places.